Hi everybody, today I want to talk to you about the Brother Innovus BP3500D. The BP3500D is the top of the line in the BP series with Brother, and we're very fortunate to carry this great model. This particular machine is a combination machine. It does sewing, quilting, garment sewing, regular utility sewing, and then also you have the full embroidery features that you're accustomed to with Brother. Part one of this video series, I'm going to show you the sewing side of the machine and just what all types of sewing applications you can do with the machine and just how much is built into it and really how durable these machines are. The BP3500D has 290 total stitches, and on this particular machine Brother has them organized together so you don't have to push 15 buttons to get to where you want it to go. Everything's really nicely laid out on the machine. And this particular machine, don't let it overwhelm you with all the features and functions. We've had people as young as 12 years old get into these types of machines and been able to operate them just fine. So it is a good machine to start out for a beginner. We do help you for the life that you own the machine, so never hesitate to call or come by. We can give you a full run through on the machine, give you several tutorials to help you along the way. On the machine itself, you're going to be able to do regular garment sewing. There's all types of features for quilting, utility stitches. You've got one-step buttonholes, and you have several styles of one-step buttonholes. So no matter what type of sewing that you do, if you're into heirloom sewing, I mean, you name it, this particular machine is going to have the stitches on it, and you can adjust these stitches along the way and get very precise on them. So as I go into my screen here, and I'm going to zoom in really quick so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. On my touch screen I have several different features here that's built in. First of all, the machine will show me what particular foot that I need to have on the machine for the stitch that I'm doing. And I can go in and I'm actually able to adjust the width, the length. I can adjust tension settings. However, on the tension settings, I will say it's very rarely that you're going to have to adjust the tension on this particular machine. I would say you're running into some kind of issue if you ever have to adjust the tension, but it is available to do that. I can raise and lower the presser foot on this machine just by the touch of a button, or I do have the standard handle in the back. It does have a push button scissor, so I can snip the thread anytime that I want to, and it'll snip the bobbin and top thread for me. This particular machine does have a built-in needle threader, so it makes it real easy about doing that. So as I scroll through my stitches and I find a stitch that I want to do, I pull the stitch up. The machine will show me what foot I need to have on. All the Brother presser feet has a letter indented into them, so you know you got the right foot on the machine. And not only does this machine come with a lot of accessories, there are so many optional accessories available for it, and we carry everything that's made for it. So as I go into my machine here, I see the stitch. If I want to adjust the width, I can do that real easily here, length, so on and so forth. If I want to cancel and go back, I have the machine is laid out in sections for me, and there's a placard built into the lid of the machine that will show me if I want to just fast forward to a grouping of stitches. I'm able to do that, so I don't have to push my arrow button here to go back and forth through all the different stitches that's on the machine. I can go on and do that. On the front of the machine here as well, I have a little button here that allows me to go in and change some of the hard drive settings. You're not going to erase anything on the machine. However, it is nice to be able to do a little bit of fine-tuning if I wanted to. And there's actually 10 pages in this particular section on your sewing side of the machine where I can go in and I can adjust different things onto the machine. Or if I want to go back to the factory default, yeah, I can definitely do that there. The machine will sew up to a maximum 850 stitches per minute. In embroidery mode, I have the ability here to adjust some of my tensions if I ever needed to. I can go from metrics to inches. We'll go ahead and change that there. If it's after hours and you want to be able to look up some of these things really quick, not get your instruction manual out, you can hit our sewing advisor here, and there's little tutorials that's built into the machine on how to wind a bobbin. The little videos that are built into the hard drive of the machine. So it's really nice and helpful. And then I can just back out and go back to my home screen. This machine is super easy to thread. Everything is channeled all the way down to my needle. So I'm going to show you quickly just how easy it is to thread the machine. Everything here, we've got a channel all the way down to my needle. And having the built-in needle threader is super nice. I'll lower my presser foot and I've threaded my needle. Bobbin is as easy to thread. It's channeled as well. You have the really nice top drop-in bobbin. This is going to make it so super smooth. Very quiet running machine. And now I've threaded my bobbin and I'm ready to sew. BP3500 does have metal working parts, and that's a must in a machine like this, because now what I'm able to do, if I'm want to do some heavy sewing every once in a while, or hemming blue jeans, quilting, you name it, you're going to be able to do it with this machine. So I'm going to give you just a quick demonstration. I've got 8-ply of denim here. That represents pretty much the side seam on a pair of blue jeans. Probably the heaviest thing that you'll ever sew on the machine. But as I go here, I lower my presser foot, I'll put it on straight stitch, and then I'm going to show you also that I'm just rarely going to have to adjust tensions. I've got just a standard piece of cotton here, and I've got some stretch materials. This pretty much represents the heaviest that I would ever be sewing, probably down to the a general lightest weight that you ever would be sewing on a machine like this. I can use the foot control. It does come with the foot control. It also does have start stop. So I get ready to sew. I'm ready to go here. I do have variable speed. I can override the foot control if I want to. Notice how quiet the machine is. And I do have a tie off here. I can hit the button. It's going to tie the stitch off for me. Then I can hit my scissor and everything is snip, clean and neat. No puckering, perfect stitching. I do have the pull out accessory tray, so if I want to hem blue jeans, shirt sleeve, pant legs, you name it. All my accessories are located really nice and easy here. I like it, it's got the hinges on the accessory tray that folds out. So if I have it on the machine, I don't have to pull it off to get get all my accessories out and get where I want to do. Everything is, the little tray is labeled for me so I can get everything back, and I got room for extras there as well. Right here I do have a built-in knee lift. This is really nice for quilters. If you don't want to be having to stop, push the button to raise the presser foot, you can keep your hands on your fabric, and when you're doing free motion stippling or darning a hole on something, it's a must to keep both hands on the fabrics because you're the one that's moving the fabric. I do have the drop feed dogs on the machine. This particular machine has a 7-point feed dog system. There's actually 7 places on these feed dogs that's coming into contact with your fabric. And what's so important about that is if I'm working with lighter weight materials tend to pucker more. And having the ability for those feed dogs to be touching in so many places, it keeps the fabric flat. The machine's feeding it all at one time. It's not putting in a stress. And then I'm able to sew through that, and it's not going to be puckering the fabric. Just feeding heavier materials as well. The more feed dogs I have in contact with my fabric, the better off that I'm going to be to feed all that through nice and smoothly. Now let me show you a little bit about the embroidery side of this machine.